Hey, I'm Bubba.
And I'm John.
We use our questionable and sometimes traumatic childhood experiences to hopefully become better parents.
We might not succeed,
But listen,
they're fine. Hey man, how's it going?
It's great. Everything's great. I love my kids. They're wonderful. You know?
You're not being sarcastic at all.
No. I hate them. No, they're just at this whiny phase. And it makes you want to throw a trash can at a window, you know? Everything's whining and they seem to like not be aware of it when you're like, you're whining, you're using the whiny voice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, I'm not. I just want a chip he's got more chips than me. And you're like, just stop it.
And let's remind the audience how old your children are.
17 and 24. 4 and 6.
They're 4 and 6. Yeah. Are they both whiny or just one or the other?
They're competitively whiny right now.
Got it.
But then if one isn't whiny or being horrible, the other one's like, I'm doing a really good job right now, aren't I, Dad? And you're like, you weren't 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. The boys used to do that a lot where as soon as one would have a meltdown or be super whiny, the other one was like the golden child.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, can you believe him? Look at that kid just being like he's crying, like glad I'm not like that,
Yeah.
you know? And they'll just be this perfect little angel. And I'm just like, you little shit. That was you 30 minutes ago. And now you're acting like you're all high and mighty and above this shit.
Yeah.
You little liar.
Yeah. I'm like, you want to see a video of it? I got a video of you being horrible. We took him to get vaccines.
Yeah.
And,
So did we. Yeah. We did this past week too. The flu shots.
Did they both cry?
No, this was probably the best time that we've had doing the vaccines. It's been rough in years past. This time was a real difference.
Last year, my oldest, Maggie, she did not cry.
Mm-hmm.
Henry kicked and screamed and cried. This year, I did not know we were doing vaccines. I was sitting at home comfortably by myself, laying out my calendar, excited about a free night. And then my wife called and she said, hey, I have to get this flu shot for work.
Yeah.
I was thinking, how about I just come home and pick up you and you, me, and the kids all go to Walgreens.
Boy, does that sound
And
like
as
fun.
a family, we all get flu shots tonight at 5:40 because I already booked it.
Oh, no way, dude.
And
No
I was
way.
like, motherfuck. There's no way out. And of course, I'm like, you know, and she's like, or if you don't want to do it, I can just do it. And I'm not going to send her into battle.
No way. You cannot send
Of course,
her off
I want to
do
be
that on
like,
her own.
yeah, you go do it.
Sure.
I want to go to a steam room and sit there for an hour by myself.
I mean, you don't believe in vaccines anyway, so.
Well, I grew up not believing in them.
I mean,
and-
before it was cool.
Yeah, before it was cool. Like we were like the original RFKs in our religious cult. And so to sweeten the pot for the kids, we were like, you get to, if you do a good job,
Sure.
you get to pick out something special at Walgreens, because now Walgreens has their own like Toys R Us section.
Oh, I was going to
basically.
say, do they pick out like some readers?
They've got
Like,
they got a bunch of toys over there. You would be shocked that you're even in a Walgreens. Half that store is like the Target kids section.
yeah.
So they're all browsing around, and then they have this little pod in there by the pharmacy that's, I call this screaming box. And it's where you bring yourself or your children to get flu shots from corrupt Anthony Fauci. And sure enough, I'm dinking with the kids while Jenna's waiting for the appointment. They call us. And she goes, you know, you stay out here with Henry while I'll do Maggie. And Maggie's like, I want to go last. And
Yeah, the order is always
the
a real
orders,
tricky, right?
it's like,
What's
who
the order going to be?
You know, I'm like, you guys know what this is. You guys have gotten shots for stuff before. It's a little pinched, whatever. Henry gets it. He cries as the needle goes in, which is understandable. I get mine to show them like I'm brave. And then my daughter goes full on like meth addict fighting the cops.
Oh, wow.
Like she busts out of the booth.
So this is your older child. This is your 6-year-old. Yeah.
She's running through the store screaming. Jenna nearly has to tackle her, drags her back in. She's kicking. I am shocked because Maggie's usually pretty chill kid. And last year she was like, wow, I'm done. I can't believe it. Somehow she got in her head and just went bananas.
Yeah.
Screaming bloody murder. We had to restrain her like Nurse Ratched style. She gets the shot. Henry picked out a fucking Christmas tree, which makes no sense considering the season.
Yeah.
With a little
not
train
even
around
Christmas
it.
season.
Not even Christmas. But he's sleeping with the thing. He's so thrilled. And Maggie was devastated that she didn't get to pick out a toy. And she's like, he got one. He cried. I'm like, there's a difference.
Oh, you didn't let her get one?
I didn't let her get one. I was like, no way.
It wasn't just if you got the shot.
You got to do a good job. She's like, but he cried. And I cried too. I said, there's a difference. You were kicking the staff and assaulting your mother.
Yeah.
And screaming at the top of your lungs. You embarrassed and shamed your family. You do not get a fucking toy, you moron.
Yeah.
I didn't say that, obviously.
That's what you thought.
That's what went through my crippled head. Yeah. But she was so bitter about it. But what was funny was on the drive home, she would not calm down, and she was like, I don't want anybody to know about this, which I was like, too bad Dad's got a podcast. But she goes, Henry, don't tell any of your friends at school that I had a mental breakdown. And Henry's sitting in the car seat, like looking at his little light up Christmas tree, and he goes, don't worry, Maggie, I'll tell them that I had a mental breakdown.
Oh,
I was like, fall on the sword. Fall on the sword.
Wow. Well, ours went, I hate to tell you how well ours went this year.
Please do, John. You always tell me how well things go for you.
Yeah, I will say this.
Everything's coming up, John.
Last year, it was, I'm trying to remember. Yeah. So it was, our kids were 5 and 8 last year when we got them. And our 5-year-old, he got the shot. And as soon as he got it, he took off and ran through the store. Luckily he got the shot
like
first.
He got an adrenaline shot.
Yeah, it was like he shot him in the arm, and then he just booked it. And I had to chase him down and catch him.
Like he was screaming and ran?
He was like crying. He wasn't screaming. But he did get the shot, but the nurse was like, you need a Band-Aid, So I was able to bring him back. So that was last year. This year, we talked to the kids on the way there, and we were like, we didn't even tell them where we were going until we were in the car. So because
that's always the thing. Yeah. Jenna was like, don't tell them.
Yeah.
Till we get there. And I'm like, no, it went so well the year before because I told them in the morning and we talked through like, well, what really hurts? Well, are you scared? I'm a little scared. And then just kind of build it up instead of like get there and then you do like a
so it's a real needle to thread, I think. And we've done it before where we've given them too much time ahead of time to like ruminate on it. So this time we're like, we can't just spring it on them. So we're like, let's get him in the car. And we told him before we're leaving the house, we're like, listen, we're going to go do 2 things. One thing you're going to like, one thing you're not going to like. And they're like, okay, we're being very cryptic. And we're like, we're going to do the thing you're not going to like first. And then we're going to do the thing you're going to like. And they were like, okay. And so then
sounds like psychological terrorism.
Once we're in the car, they're like, okay, what are we doing? And I was like, well, we're going to go get flu shots. And they were just like, I was like, but then we're going to Hamburger Habit and you guys are getting shakes. And they were like, okay. And like, they were just like, they were trying to figure out how to respond. And so then Catherine's like, what I do when I'm getting a shot is like, I think about like, I'm on like a beach, and she's like trying to give this like whole mental picture. Yeah. And like, I'm just relaxed and like, think about like one of my happiest places. And they were like, okay, they were kind of buying it. And I was like, you know what I do? And they're like, what? I was like, I think about being on a bed of nails and being like injected with 1 million needles in my back and sides and butt and legs. And they're like, what?
I'm like that right now. What?
And then I go, and then when they inject me with the shot, I don't even feel it because I've already in my mind been getting injected. And they're just like cracking up. They're like, what? They're like, this is insane. I'm like, no, it's great. It totally works. I'm just trying to like fuck with them and make them laugh. And it's working. They're laughing the whole time.
I'm not.
They're just like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, no, just imagine 1 million needles getting you all at once. What's one more? Who cares? Right. And my point was like, make them laugh. Like, you got to make light of this. Catherine was like trying to calm them down. I'm like, fuck that. I just want to make them laugh. And it worked. They were laughing. They thought it was funny. I reminded our 6-year-old that the year before he ran through the store and he thought that was really funny. And so then when we got there, they did it this year and they knocked it out, man. We gave them each something to fidget with during it. I gave the 6-year-old a yo-yo to play with, and the 8-year-old played on the phone for a second. Like, we let him watch something on Netflix for a second.
Yeah, we tried that. They wouldn't fall for it.
Yeah.
I thought if maybe I like punched them right before they got the shot.
Sure. Yeah.
To distract. I don't know.
Next year. You know, you've always
we're
got
gonna
next year, right?
Or like pinching them real hard on one side of the body.
Nice.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it did go better for you than for us.
I mean, it's year to year. We'll see how it goes for you next year. Try a different tactic next year.
Maybe I should try the milkshake thing.
The milkshake thing helps. Bribery.
Well, you also didn't say if you do a good job, you get a milkshake.
That is true.
You just said you get a milkshake, which maybe that made it worse for Maggie because I was like, and you don't get a toy because you're a psychopath.
Yeah. I mean, I do understand, though, if the kids would have been like kicking and screaming and assaulting the nurse, I don't think I would have been like, great, time to get a milkshake.
Well, I was so shocked because the last few years she did fine. She cried a little bit. She didn't even cry at all. Last year they poked her. They gave the shot and she goes, that was it? I didn't even feel it. And I was like, great, she's going to be a champ. Something switched in her brain.
Yeah, she had too much time to think about it, I think.
Too much Tylenol. She became autistic.
Well, other than the vaccines, anything else happened with you this past week?
Nothing of note.
But I think since I saw you last time, we went camping with our neighbors, and because you're never going to go camping with me.
No, of course not.
No, but we went camping. It was pretty fun, man.
Where'd you go?
We went up by like Solvang. This is in kind of like Central Coast, California, for anybody listening.
You know what? Now that I think about it, we were probably up in San Luis Obispo around the same time.
Yeah, well.
But we were in a beautiful, wonderful,
fancy hotel.
fancy, nice house.
Yeah.
With running water.
We were in tents with outhouses.
Yuck.
You would have hated the pooping situation.
What was it? I don't even know if I want to hear this. I'm going to get so upset.
There were porta potties that you could walk to somewhat nearby, and they were the worst porta potties I've ever seen in my life. But then there was an actual like structure bathroom with showers that you could walk to. It was maybe like 2 blocks. You had to walk to it. Not too bad. Maybe like a 5-minute walk.
Why were the porta potties so bad? They were old plasticky ones?
Yeah, and just like really needed to be serviced. Like we went to them once and we were like, nope, we got to walk to the main building. No, man, it was so much fun. Like it was, we talked about camping, I think, on the last episode or one before, and it is a giant pain in the ass for sure.
No.
However, I think it's totally worth it. It's so much fun. And the place we went, they did like they had like a talk, like the rangers were there and they did like a talk and like a bat encounter. So it was like right at dusk as the sun was setting, and they have these bat houses and all the bats fly out. So you get to see all the cool bats and they talk about them. Yeah, that was super fun.
I would have been like, hey, less worry about the bats. Maybe put some of that energy in the outhouses. Am I the only one?
Got a lot of money for this bat house. Yeah. What about the outhouse?
How about the porta johns, guys?
No, but I mean, it was only 2 days, but I mean, it was super fun. I mean, lots of work, but totally worth it. I think we'll do some more camping with those neighbors. It was a really good time, man. You would have hated it.
Yeah. Why'd you like camping with those neighbors? What about them? They didn't complain about everything like me?
Yeah, they didn't talk about pooping all the time.
Oh.
But you know what the main thing is camping with people that you like hanging out with that have kids that are your kids' ages. Makes all the difference, because then the kids entertain each other, right?
True.
If otherwise, like we talked about before, you go on vacation or camping with your kids, just you and them, you're just parenting somewhere else.
With having to carry all your shit in and out.
And it's just like, this is just like, what the fuck are we doing here? But when there's other kids that are your kids' ages, they play and they entertain each other, and then you can, have some drinks by the fire and roast some marshmallows and have a good time.
What were the kids playing?
Fucking throwing rocks in the lake. Like they were gathering sticks. They got it up their butts that they were like, we really want to like gather all the sticks for the fire. So they entertained themselves for God only knows how long, finding sticks for the fire. I was like, we brought firewood. And they're like, no, we need sticks for the fire.
Was this one of those like campgrounds?
Yeah, it was a campground.
What do they call it? Like, isn't there a collection of these campgrounds?
Do you mean like Thousand Trails or something?
Yeah. There's one that has like a label.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ones. I mean, this was not like RV camping. That's kind of what I've seen with a lot of labels and brands is like people take RVs and stuff. This was just...
So there's not like a collection of cabins and then the RV parking and then there's a playground and a lake.
I mean, there was a lake, but this is purely tent camping next to the lake.
I would be worried about getting stabbed.
By who?
Michael Myers.
Oh, the Crystal Lake kind of situation.
Jason the 13th, whatever it is.
Jason the 13th, you know.
Friday the Freddy.
Yeah.
Thank God it's Friday the 13th.
Mash them all up together.
Yeah.
No, man, it was super fun. Yeah.
And what did you guys do as adults besides police the kids and roast marshmallows? How did you eat?
We made food.
On a rock?
You bring like camp stoves and you bring ice chests with food and, you know, you make food.
I don't understand it. Just go to a restaurant.
Okay.
You know?
No, we need to take you camping at least once.
I've been camping as a child.
It doesn't sound like it.
I've
You're
been
asking
several times.
how did you eat? What do you mean how did we eat? You bring food.
Yeah, having kids, the inconvenience of it in and of itself, and then going out into the wilderness. I don't know. I guess I could see with a cabin or something if it's got like, it's, you know,
that's just a house. That's just an Airbnb. That's not camping.
Yeah, but you're near trees. You can look out and be like, goodbye, trees. You shut the door. You know?
That's not camping.
I don't know, John. I just don't think it's for me.
We need to incentivize you to do this somehow. I think we need to record it. It needs to be content in some way that you could monetize.
I guess.
This might be the only way we get you to go camping.
Maybe you get some kind of outdoor bidet company to sponsor it. You know?
If we can get you past the pooping situation.
I hook it up to the lake water.
Yeah. If we can figure that out.
It's hydro-powered.
I think that's the real roadblock is that we're never going to get you past that.
Yeah. I mean, I do like trail mix, so I can do a trail. But then I got to poop from the trail mix. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so we went camping, and yeah, I think ever since I last saw you, I also went to Kansas City for work. I had to go for a couple days, so I was out of town for a couple days.
How was Kansas City?
It was great, man. I love it there.
A lot of improv comedy in Kansas City.
Is there? I saw some music while I was there, but I didn't see any improv.
Yeah, that's where Jason Sudeikis started.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City, Missouri is pretty great. Really cool town. I mean, the weather, I think, would be hard for certain times of year. Yeah. But when I went, it was great, man. It was pretty cool.
We went to this, our friends from church, their parents were out of town, and they have this huge house up in San Luis Obispo. Uh-huh. And we went up there around the same time you did your trip. And it was such a slog of a drive with the kids. And we brought our new dog. I keep saying new, even though it's been a year.
This is Gracie, your dog?
Gracie. Yep. I don't want to talk bad about her. She listens to the show, but she whined the entire drive up.
How long of a drive was it?
6 hours.
6 hours. Yeah, that's a long drive.
And it would not stop. Like, it only stopped occasionally when you're going like steady on the freeway. Mm-hmm. But as soon as you slow down, she's like, and then you got the kids being like, the chips and the pretzels. And I was like, ugh.
Do you travel with her a lot?
No.
Okay.
But I was like, this will be good to get her used to it. And the people we're meeting, they've been friends for years. They have 2 kids younger. So it wasn't the ideal, like, our kids are all the same age. It was like they have a new baby who's a giant for being a small baby, who's like 9 months, and he's like the size of your son. Mm-hmm. And then they have a 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old. So it was like Henry could play with a 2.5-year-old. And Maggie was gravitating towards the mom a little more. But I was like, we should have put this dog on drugs. And Jenna was like, you know, you don't do that now, like not on its first road trip. But when I saw the vet a few days later, the vet was like, yeah, put on trazodone, I think it was called. It's like
For the drive or something?
For the drive, it makes it way more enjoyable for them and less anxious for you. But it was beautiful up there. And we were kind of far away, more like in the woods of this house. But I was like, thank God there's indoor plumbing. And they were like wealthier parents, these friends' parents. So they had like the fully stocked pantry, the like just loaded everything. You had your own bedroom. It was very nice compared to the death trap that you were in.
I'm not opposed to your situation. It sounds great. Variety is the spice of life.
I mean, but what if a bear got you? Like, don't you worry about that when you're camping with the kids?
If a bear got me?
Yeah, if a bear comes up, rips that tent open, starts ripping you from limb to limb. Like Grizzly Man, remember that?
I do. I'm going to be honest, Brandon, that never occurred to me. Where we were camping, to be fair, is not like bear country. Northern California, there's a lot of like Sequoia National Park, places like that. That is a real concern. I mean, not that they're going to like kill you, but they'll steal all your food. But where we were camping, there weren't even bear lockers. It wasn't that kind of thing. We did have raccoons that got into our trash, but that's about as crazy as it got with the wildlife.
Well, raccoons are pretty silly.
Yeah. There was a lot of raccoon tracks. The kids loved that when we woke up in the morning and the trash was strewn about and they saw raccoon tracks all over the ice chest. Man, they were like, this is the greatest thing we've ever seen.
We did a camping with this same couple one time in Catalina and I hated it. And there were so many bees. The bees there were like flies, like just millions of them. I'd open a beer and bees would fly into the beer can. And we had our food that we strung up because of like whatever animals, and still a fox climbed up and got into the food. We also went on a trip with them to Yosemite, and I'm so dumb. This was like in January when we were first dating. I got out of the car.
This was a few years back.
And I got out of the car, and there's this dog that looked like our dog Gracie now. It came up to me. I was like, "Hey, Pop, how you doing?" I was like starting to pet this dog, and then the guy David got out of the car. He goes, "That's a coyote." It was.
Oh my God!
And I was like, "Oh, never mind." And the coyote ran off. But it was in the parking lot. I was like, "Oh, cute! Somebody brought a dog." That's how dumb I am.
That's really funny.
I'm gonna get you killed if you ever take me camping, John.
I mean, it sounds like you might get yourself killed.
I'm going to be like, I met this guy. He's really cool. I invited him over. And you're going to be like, it's a bear, dude.
Sure,
And we'll be like, oh, shit.
So I think this is what's happened. This is lots coming to light. You've had various camping experiences, and none of them have gone well.
None of them have gone well, no.
Yeah. No. Well, I don't know. I'm half a mind to try to get you to go camping, and because I think it'd be funny and it'd be entertaining, and we should record it. The other part of me says, let's just let sleeping dogs lie. Brandon doesn't want to camp.
Maybe we get lost, like river rafting.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe we need to get you camping without the kids once first and get you comfortable.
I'd cotton to it more certainly without the kids.
Just because, like, if you could get your sea legs, right?
Yeah.
And then once you feel comfortable with that, then you could be like, okay, now I could bring the kids into this situation.
Yeah, because I don't even know how to start a fire. My wife does the fire starting.
You bring a lighter.
Yeah, but like a proper campfire, you know.
I mean, I'll be honest, right? I'm a progressive man. Catherine pretty much does our fires. She's better at it than me. I know how to start a fire.
Jenna's better at it,
but Catherine's better at it. I'm just like,
but I'm the cook. I guess that'd be my job in the Civil War.
So you'd be the cook.
I'd be the old cook.
Yeah,
like, buffalo stew again, boys.
You'd have a nice apron.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me just get my kibbles here. Well, shit. Get that fire started, boy.
What accent are we doing here?
It's a little all over the place. Little Prospecto. Little southern Savannah, Georgia. I ain't gonna say what side we fought on in the Civil War, but it sure won.
All right, let's take a break. So, one of the topics that our producer Wyatt wanted us to discuss tonight was how we discipline our kids. This is something we've alluded to before on previous episodes, but we've never really like dug into it. Like how and what kind of discipline do we use with our kids?
Corporal.
Yeah, primarily physical punishment, right?
Violence.
I am curious if we do similar things with our kids. I actually don't know how you discipline your kids. I'm kind of curious.
Not well. That's the answer. It's a sliding scale. Mm-hmm. It lacks what my mother calls consistency.
Oh, is that a term your mother uses?
Yeah, well, see, I grew up the Bible way. Mm-hmm. So we were hit.
You were hit as a
spanked.
kid.
We were slapped. We had our mouth washed out with soap. I have been slapped by people who were not my parents. I have had my mouth washed out with soap by neighbors. Mm-hmm. I've been hit in the head by shoes that belong to other adult women. It was a little like a Hell's a Kitchen.
You grew up in the 1940s. It's important for people to know that.
And my wife and I have had many conversations about how I'm like, we need to hit these kids. And
Sure.
she's like, hitting doesn't work.
You're like, worked for me. It'll
And
work
I'm like,
for them.
it worked for me. And she's like, well, you are a writer who barely holds down a serving job, and you couldn't make it through barely high school. I don't think it did work for you.
I mean, it landed her.
Yeah. Joke's on you. You're married to me, you dumb bitch. However, I do find sweet satisfaction because occasionally I have been forced to draw my hand upon my child and strike my child across their face.
You have not.
I've given my kids swats on the butt before when things have been very intense, or especially when there's like, their life is at risk running into the road or something like that.
Sure.
And then we've gotten in fights of like, yeah, you didn't need to, and then every now and then Jenna will lose it and give a little swat
on the butt.
Like, look at that. Mm-hmm. You have a darkness in you just like me.
She's like, you're wearing off on me.
But generally, we try to do the, you're not getting your pad. I also have a thing, as we've talked about, where I make I write a check my ass can't cash, where I'll say, if you do such and such, all your genes are going to be burned in a fire or something.
You've talked about this before, where you make like some
giant declaration,
crazy like ultimatum, and then
I'm going to smash all your toys and melt them down in the microwave or something. And
don't say it unless you are willing to follow through.
Because I will be like, well, I guess we'll just take this one. And what I need to do is just, start easy. And also, in the many parenting books I've read, I haven't read a single one, it'll be like, you need to have a punishment that is immediate to them. Again, not violence, but like, you need to warn them, verbalize it, have them say it back to you. If I don't stop, picking my nose in the doctor's office, you're going to take my truck away or whatever.
Yeah, because that's how it works in real life, right? Your kid's having a fucking fit and you're like, say it back to me.
Now touch your ears so I know. I don't know. So it's not going great. Also, I'm curious with you because sometimes I obviously can't help but swear, which they hear, which is why Henry called me a cunt the other day, for effect. But sometimes I slip, and it's not with violence, but I'll be like, you fucking idiot. But I'll say it under my breath. But occasionally I'll say to them like, well, you're acting foolish.
Sure.
Or that was a dumb decision.
I mean, that's how you should say it. You don't want to be like, you're an idiot. You want to be like, what you're doing is not smart. Like you're
behaving like a baby.
You're trying to comment on the behavior, not on them, right? As like a person.
Yeah. Although I did slip not too long ago and I said, well, that was pretty fucking stupid, wasn't it, Henry? Because he, for example, was being insane in the morning, getting kids ready and off to school is my least favorite of all parenting activities.
Getting kids to school.
And I took a tip from a professional dad, John Ahern, by not making elaborate breakfast for my kids.
Yep.
So I would just do bowl of garbage cereal in the morning.
Not my tip. Not what I recommended, but
just something easy.
Something
you just
easy,
do a
yes.
piece of toast.
yeah.
I butted heads with my wife because she'll be like, it's just Frosted Flakes. Like, who fucking cares?
You're like,
And I'm like, but this is her fundamental breakfast
it's
for the
just
day.
80 grams of sugar.
And sodium and whatever else. And she's like, but it's fortified with vitamins. I'm like, do you work for General Mills?
It's so funny because she's the medical professional.
So I did the cereal thing. And then Henry, it's digressed to where it's like they're not even getting ready. They're not even in their cereal. And Henry will be like, I want to bring my bowl with me while I walk to school because we are blessed to only live 1 block from the school. And I'd say, no. You're going to spill it. And he's like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And then he got right in the doorway and tripped and spilled it all over the porch and in the house. And I think I said something like, good job, dipshit. Or like, feel pretty fucking dumb now. Or something like, shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
And he then repeated it to me when I
Yikes.
did something dumb. And I said, touche. But I was like,
He's
we
like,
gotta
what's
watch,
touche mean?
we gotta watch the mouths, Henry. So I do try to also apologize to the kids if I lose my temper, which I tend to more than my wife. And I'm coming to learn that it's a product of having ADHD, that you have a shorter fuse. You're affected more by like the noise and chaos, gives you more of a fight or flight. Whereas my wife is just like, it's fine. And I'm like, this is horrifying, you know?
Your wife has a pretty level head. It's pretty, I think, and she's probably like she's like a war-torn soldier, right? She's been desensitized probably from her job a little bit. I mean, she's a nurse, and she's probably seen a lot of shit, very high stress situations, and she probably has to keep her head, right? And so,
well, you wouldn't have thought it on my way here before I left, and she was screaming at these kids because they were being insane.
well, hey, no one's perfect.
Henry, this is also a question for you, of like when to point out how dumb they're being. We went to this party for kids, and they had a table where you can make potions and stuff with glitter.
Sounds like a mess.
Huge mess. They had it outside. I was like, big mistake. But Henry became enthralled with making some potions too, which you put a little cork in to hold them. I was like, you're a dummy. I'm going to tape them. So I taped them shut.
Sure.
I came home. Henry had drank the potions of Maggie, his sister.
Oh my God.
He drank these plastic star sprinkle, glitter things.
Glitter and aluminum.
He's gonna have glitter poop.
His poop is going to be
gonna
insane.
look like a fucking Pride Parade float.
You got to take a picture of it. Oh my God.
But it's stuff like that I said, Henry, you could go to the hospital over this. He goes, no, I have superpowers. And I just wanted to be like,
it's a potion.
You're the dumbest thing I've ever met in my life.
Sure.
You're Lennian of Mice and Men.
He's like, you made me.
I'm like, ugh. Touche. That's my monologue on discipline.
On discipline. Yeah, I mean, I think we have different techniques, but I sympathize with you quite a bit.
I'm sure yours is better and more effective.
I don't know if that's true. You'll find out.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never seen you raise your voice at your kids.
I have. What's funny is one of the things I picked up on when you were talking about it is swearing around your kids. We've been very careful that we don't want to swear around our kids. We know, and they're at the ages now where it's like they know what curse words are. They've heard them other places, right? It's not, they'll be like, I mean, our 6-year-old, he's told us, over the past year, he's like, I know what the A word is now, or like, I know what the S word is. And I'm like, okay, well, tell me so I know if you actually know it. And he tells me, I'm like, oh yeah, you know.
Oh,
curse
mine
words
would
now.
do it wrong.
Yeah.
Meg would be like, the F word is freak.
Yeah.
And then one time she goes, do you know what the N word is? And I was like, oh no. She goes, nothing. You're not supposed to say nothing. I was like, that's
You're
right.
like, that's exactly
And
it.
slowly-
Thank God.
Slowly put my Jay-Z albums.
Yeah,
on-
put them away.
under the
Your blood
couch.
pressure also dropped slightly. No, but they've heard him now. But Catherine and I have slipped. I mean, I will say, I could count the times on one hand, I think, where we've like sworn in front of the kids, where we have just kind of lost it. And we're like, God damn it.
God damn it is, is the thing. It's the thing.
I mean, we've probably, and I mean, I don't want to, I mean, it has been, I am pretty proud of like how well we've done with not doing, because we both fucking curse a lot outside of being around our kids.
My wife is a sailor too.
Yeah.
And same thing. She'll be like, you gotta stop swearing. And then like the next day I hear like, fucking asshole Henry. And I'm like, give me the popcorn.
Nice. You have so much schadenfreude when your wife makes a mistake.
It's that weird thing where you're like, I don't want anything horrible to happen to my children.
Sure.
But if it does, I want it to be on my wife's watch.
Better be on her watch.
So I can hold it against her for the rest of her life.
This seems super healthy. So anyway, that aside, I will say, man, disciplining our kids has been really hard, and it is completely different for the two of them. For our 8-year-old, almost nothing works. Almost nothing. Because he's like, we have had the toughest time figuring out any repercussions that he cares about, right? Because all he wants to do is read, because he's such a dork.
We're gonna replace all your books with Chinese books.
We're just like, what can we do? Take away his books? Like,
we're gonna make you wear an eye patch.
And we'll be like, go to your room. And he's like, I don't care. I'll go to my room and read. And we're like, give me your book. And he's like, fine, I've got 100 more. And you're just like, ugh. So it's been so hard because he is also basically a small lawyer. Whenever something happens and he will have like a full tantrum, all he wants to do is like debate back and forth about it. And you're just like, well, you did this. He'd be like, I didn't do that. I did this. And you said not to do that, but I didn't do that. I did. And you're like, fucking, I am in like a debate with a 6-year or an 8-year-old. And I'm like, this is insane. So what's happened recently is I'm just like, listen, I can't keep doing this, Catherine, like with our 8-year-old. So
you kicked him out.
Yeah, I told him hit the bricks.
Yeah.
He's got a little hobo sack on a stick.
Yep.
No, but I'm just like, he will get into it with his mom pretty regular. Like they will like get in some little argument about something. And if they can't resolve it, like I'll kind of listen in, and then I'm just like, you know what? I just come in and I've told him, I'm like, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not debating with you. You're done. And I just pick him up. You can throw him over my shoulder and take him to his room and take away whatever he's interested in that point in time. Where I'm just like,
which is to go back to books.
Yeah, it could be books. It could be whatever. It'd be like, oh, you're not coming with us to do this thing, or you're not going to have any video game time today, right? Or it's like whatever. But it's just like you remove him from the situation and just like put him in his room, and then it's like you can come out when you've calmed down, right? If he's having like a tantrum or something, right? But what he wants to do is argue. He wants to debate and argue about it, about like why he didn't do the thing wrong, or, some sort of technicality. And I'm just like, I'm not doing it, man. Like I come in with an iron fist and I remove you from the situation, and like, that's it. Like,
do you think that's good?
I mean,
how is it different than old school dad being like, you go to your fucking room and you shut up, or you hit him? Like, how is it different? Because it shuts them down emotionally.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's like the thing that I'm trying to figure out with like...
I think it's fair because, I mean, we've tried the thing where it's like, de-escalate, like talk to them about their feelings, like try to make them understand what's happening. And it's just like, you get to a point sometimes with kids where I'm like, oh, really? Like Instagram parenting mom that's saying how to do this. Like, why don't you come try this? Like, it doesn't work. They are sometimes just having a meltdown, or they're a tantrum, and they're just being like, Catherine and I call it reptile eyes, right? Where it's just like, oh yeah, like they're not using reason anymore, and you can't de-escalate them. And the conversation just makes everything worse. And I'm just like, we just need to shut this situation down.
So you just pick them up,
throw him over my shoulder, take him to his room, close the door. They will calm down.
What if does he ever like kicking the door and stuff like that?
Oh, he'll like, the other day I did that, and he started, he had like a cup full of animal crackers in his room, and he just started throwing them at his wall, and they were like all like basically exploding as they were hitting the wall.
Wow.
And so I came into his room while he was doing that, and I was like, okay, we're picking all these up. And he's like, get out of my room. You're not picking them. I was like, you're picking them up.
With your mouth. Yeah. You're going to eat them all.
So I was like, I'm not leaving your room until we pick all these up. And then he was like, fine. And so then we're like picking them all up. And then once he was done picking up, then I left the room. The thing is he just needs to calm down. And it's like, once he calms down, everything's fine. You can reason with him again. But it's when like I said, he gets like reptile eyes, you know, where you're just like, there's no reasoning with this kid right now, right? Just need to remove him from the situation. They need 5 to 10 minutes somewhere just to chill out.
Why don't you throw him in the pool?
I have done that before.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I've like not completely thrown him in, but I've dipped him in the pool, like up to his waist.
This all sounds actionable for Child Protective
Sure, bring it on.
Service.
You know, where like I've been like, I'm gonna put you in the pool, and like it was kind of like joking. Like he was like laughing as we were doing
Yeah,
it.
see, kids don't like that though. They do that turn
Yeah.
where it's like ha ha ha, and then they're like, ah,
That's exactly what happened. And
Yeah,
I was like, all right, we're not gonna
ugh.
do this again. Where I'm like, because I thought I was like, oh, am I diffusing this because like he thinks it's funny? But then I dipped him in the pool. It was summer. It was fine.
Your Honor.
But like I put him in and like I held him and like I dunked him to his waist and pulled him out, and he turned so fast. He was like, this is not funny. Like, I am very upset about this.
And
I
they brought him in the bathroom and gave him a swirly.
I thought it was hilarious, but he did not. And I was like, all right, well, that didn't work. I'm not going to do that again. But I think just so I think it's two parts. For me, when we talk about disciplining the kids, they're at the ages now where it's either they're throwing a tantrum or they're doing some action and you need to get them to stop it, right? For our kids, it's usually, we have 2 boys that are 6 and 9, and they will fight with each other. And I'm like, we just need this to stop. Like, we just need whatever the situation is to stop. So you have to like de-escalate the situation. You can deal with repercussions later. But it's just like, we just need you and your brother to not hit each other right now, or to like not be yelling at each other. And talking to you guys isn't going to resolve this. We just have to remove
because they're
you
at
from the
each other's
situation.
throats, and then it's always like, well, but he did this first, and then I did. And I think that's what's tricky with mine is like Maggie's older. And I am sympathetic to like the pressure that she has of having to be the one. It's like, well, you're the oldest. You should know better than XYZ. You should be in charge of your brother. Mm-hmm. And it's like, she obviously doesn't want to, but I feel bad. But sometimes I just got to separate them. I'm just like, you guys keep it up. You guys are a team. If you keep fucking up and bothering everybody in the house, you're going to have to go in your own rooms and you guys are going to be separated.
I think you just have to separate them sometimes and remove
So
them
I
from the
pick them
situation.
up, I dip them in the toilet.
There you
just
go.
their feet.
Yeah.
And then I throw them down in their rooms and I burn all their books like the Nazis.
So this is all great stuff. I don't have any problems with any of that. No, but so once we like de-escalate the situation, which I have found has just been like, remove them from the situation, remove them from each other, everybody calms down, then trying to figure out like what repercussions there are has been interesting. We talked about this once before, but we have done things where we've been like, great, you're going to pull weeds, right?
Oh yeah, the old weed pulling.
Yeah, like we're going to go in the front yard and we're going to pull
I was
weeds this
thinking
weekend.
about that because tomorrow I gotta pull some weeds.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe
It works. They hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but the thing is they don't really pull the weeds. You're just pulling weeds with annoying kids next to you.
No, they pull the weeds, but you have to kind of like be out there doing it with them, you know. They're not old enough to like actually do a good job on their own.
Yeah.
But the point is that like it's a punishment that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I gotta start instigating some chores, I feel like, as punishment.
I feel like chores as punishment might be the way to go.
But they don't have any chores to do, period. So developing introducing the concept of chores
I think Maggie's
as
old enough.
punishment initially, like I feel like I should be like, these are your chores, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, but you get $5 at the end of the week. Yeah. And then if you're bad, then it's like, now you got this other chore.
Yes, so we've talked about this
like
too.
scrubbing the floor with a toothbrush chore, you know.
We've talked about chores as well, like how do we implement chores? And so we've broken it into 2 categories. One is chores that you just have to do as like being part of our family, right? These are just things that like we expect everybody to do. It's like bring in the trash cans, like whatever, take the trash out from the bathroom, normal shit. You're not getting allowance or money for doing that. But if you do some sort of chore that's above and beyond what I would expect you to do, our 6-year-old helped me clean the pool filter a couple months ago, and it took like 3 hours. Like we had to disassemble the whole pool filter, take it out front, clean it, and he helped me with it for like 3 hours. And I was like, here's $5. Like, I do not expect a 6-year-old to
Here
do
you
this.
go, kid. Get yourself a Cracker Jack.
Exactly.
Does he even know what $5 can buy?
Yeah. He likes Legos now, so everything is in what kind of Lego can I get with this?
Yeah.
You know,
It's like one item at Five Below.
yeah. But I mean, he'll be like, oh well, this plus another, and I've already got $10. I can buy this Harry Potter Lego now or something. He's at that age now where that's kind of becoming a thing.
Maybe I need to have my kids help me do things more because it's so much work to have them help you because you now have like a dumb thing that you have to teach while you're trying to do the thing that you don't want to do anyhow. Mm-hmm. But you're out here like hammering the wall, redoing your siding with the kids, doing all these things. I'm more like, what can I put them in front of so they'll bother me less so I can get this chore done?
You know what? I think you got to look at the things you do around the house. For me, I do a lot of like home repair and like remodeling stuff to the house. So that's the stuff I have the kids help me with, right?
Yeah.
That's not really your skill set, but you do a lot of cooking and a lot of cleaning. You should get them involved with cooking.
Yeah, help me pickle these pickles. Help
Seems
me
redundant,
make a roux.
but I mean, yeah, help you. I mean, do the kids like cooking?
They do, but then they'll screw it up.
Of
you
course,
know?
of
So
course.
if I'm like, hey, I'm making literally a roux for mac and cheese or something, I'll be like, put in this much flour to this much butter. And then they'll be like, and let me do one more. And they pour a whole cup in, and you're like,
Well, I'm sorry. Do you think my
over.
kids are good at doing redwood siding? No,
maybe.
but it's kind of the cost of doing business is like, yeah, you're going to have to fix the things they mess up, but they're learning. And I don't know. I feel like it is a good learning experience for them. And it's better than just like, what are you going to do? Ground them? They're not that age yet where grounding is even a thing, right?
Yeah.
You're going to take away their iPads? Like, that's a punishment for you, man.
That is a punishment for me. That's another check my ass can't cash when I'll be like, you don't get it for the whole week. And then the next day I'm like, I got to wait at the dentist with me.
Damn it.
I'm going to give them this Time Life magazine from the 70s that's sitting here with Retired Weekly.
We had our 6-year-old's well check today, like his yearly check at the doctor. And it's like a 30-minute drive each way to where his doctor is. And they were also running late. And I didn't bring an iPad or anything with me or anything to entertain him. He just had like one little Lego in the car.
Dog in that.
And oh man, it was just me and him for like 2 hours. And I was like, wow, I really fucked this up.
What was he just asking you questions the whole time?
Dude, he was great. He did such a great job. I was shocked because he was so bored. But he was just like, catch as catch can, man. Like, I was lucky. He was in a great mood. It could have gone real sideways.
What's that phrase you said? Catch is what?
Catch can? I don't know. It's some idiom.
I've never heard that idiom before.
Maybe I just made it up.
Catch is cash is as good as can be on a deviled egg time tea.
Yeah, it's probably some idiom I messed up. But
Yeah.
anyway, I mean, it's just like, we got lucky, right? It could have been horrible, but I did think like, man, I really should have brought some toys or an iPad or something for
My
him.
kids are both, Henry's actually starting to draw, which is shocking to me.
That's
It's
nice.
obviously very rudimentary, but he's addicted to it. Like he'll come home and I'll be like, can you do XYZ? And he's like, hold on, Dad. I got to draw this haunted house. And he's just like drawing all kinds of stuff that looks terrible. But it's like, if I forget an iPad or any toys, I'm just like, oh, I have a notebook. Do you want to? And he's like, yeah, just drawing up a storm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great finding those things, right? Like that's how it is with our 9-year-old when he found reading, really. It's just like, oh, this is his thing.
Yeah.
And now our 6-year-old, it's just like, give him a Lego. If he's got a Lego, he'll entertain himself for freaking 2 hours.
Yeah, Henry's a little too young with the Legos. He'll, build a thing and then break it on purpose and then start crying.
Sure.
And
He's a
you're
little
like,
young
yeah.
for it. He's only 4. That's a bit young.
Yeah, he's not quite past the
But maybe drawing will be his
giving
thing.
up
That's
out
great.
of frustration kind of phase. you
Legos
know?
can be really frustrating when the kids are too young.
I mean, they're frustrating to me when I'm doing them. I'm like, I don't get it.
Camping and Legos.
Why can't they make them bigger?
Yeah.
You know?
Duplo.
Yeah, I'm a Duplo boy.
But yeah, I mean, as far as discipline, I don't think either of us are parenting experts when it comes to discipline. It's definitely like figuring it out as we go. What worked last week maybe doesn't work this week. We're
Yeah, I
always
think you got to
trying to
be
figure it
flexible
out.
on it. I mean, I've seen so many both sides to it. Like, I mean, I remember growing up white trash, and having neighbors. I remember there was a neighbor across the street. We'd hear him like beating his children.
Yeah, don't do that.
Right. And then you'd have, the wealthy parents we'd see whose kids would walk all over them.
Mm-hmm.
And there were like no rules. And the kids would be like, fuck you, mom, you stupid bitch. And you'd be like, oh, he just said that to his mom, And it's like, that's my worst fear, is being like disrespected like that, in public or something. So it's like, my mom came to visit and she's like, you gotta be consistent. You gotta batten it down right now, bub, or they gonna be disrespecting you their whole life.
Coming from the woman who beat you for the majority of your childhood.
Who I love.
Yes. I'm not saying she's a bad person.
Right.
But Brandon.
But she's like, you gotta spare the rod. It's in the Bible.
It was a different time.
You spare the rod, you spoil the child.
I don't agree.
Was it a different time though,
It was.
John?
I do not agree with physical punishment at all. I don't like it. I think it's a different thing. Your kids are very young. If you swat them on the butt because they go to run across the street, that is a different thing to me. Beyond
what if
that,
they call you a cunt and you give them a little swat?
No, I
You
don't.
say, hey, I'm the only one who says that C word.
I don't agree with it. I don't think it works.
Yeah.
If it worked, I mean, it'd be different. But I mean, I think you're just instilling fear in your kids.
Yeah. Well, to that end, I have read research articles about corporal punishment with your kids. And it is supposedly that if the parents who do beat, spank their kids, they've done studies that those kids are more likely to end up with a life of crime and depression, alcoholism, these things, but primarily a distrust of authority and a dislike of authority, because there's no discussion. It's just John picked me up and brought me into the room and made me pick up animal crackers.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. I don't look at that as physical punishment where it's like, I'm going to physically remove you from this situation. I'm like, this isn't your punishment. It's like, we need to diffuse this situation.
You're not the cop that shot the unarmed homeless person who was having a mental health crisis. You're the mental health counselor who intervenes.
Let's get you to a new spot.
Yeah.
Right? If you're not going to listen to reason.
You need housing.
Yeah.
You need a meal and you need Narcan.
But beyond that, I mean, I was not raised with any sort of like really physical punishment. I'm sure when I was very young, maybe my parents spanked us or something that I don't even remember. But yeah, it was not my experience that at all. It was like I would get grounded and I would get stuff taken away. I think was how they raised us. I think my parents were kind of checked out too.
Did your parents ever, I feel like the worst punishments were like if I'd shoplift or break somebody's thing, my dad would like, part of the punishment would be like and now you have to go back and tell that person what you did and that you're sorry. And you're like,
that would suck.
And Jenna did that tonight
Yeah.
with Henry. She was like, you need to go tell, because he drank the potions and I think spilled them all over and had to clean them up. And then she was like, and now the final task is you have to tell your sister that you drank her potions. And
Oh,
he was
wow.
like, oh no, I can't. And I remember stealing, maybe I told you this, chrome caps. They had dice. Was there a phase? You know how there was like pogs were a trend and yo-yos and stuff when we were kids?
Sure.
There was also a phase, and maybe it's because I was in more of a black neighborhood that had like hoopty whips and cars like with lights on the bottom.
You stole like the stem caps, like the little valve
valves that
caps.
goes on the tires, and there'd be ones with dice or diamonds or whatever.
Sure.
So there's this whole
I'll get you shot, man.
yeah, I guess it could. There's this whole trend of that going around the neighborhood where everybody's caps are getting stolen, chrome caps.
They're valve stem caps.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like it's like a kid thing. I don't know. It's like how Henry collects rocks and stuff, but it was like for us, it was thugged out chrome caps.
Yeah.
But I remember getting busted for going. I would even steal the ones that weren't even valuable.
Just like the plastic black ones.
No, if they were metal.
They had to be metal.
They had to be metal. And I went to some industrial park where there are all these semi-truck, not cabs. What's the back of the semi-truck?
Tractor trailers?
Yeah, tractor trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took a bunch of these off, and I came home, and so my dad was going through my stuff.
You had a bag full of valve stem caps.
What are all these from? And I was like, oh, well, he's like, how's a young man come into possession of innumerable
60 valve stem caps?
I was like, oh, it's just over by the... He goes, and did you take these from... yeah. Okay. And then he was like, well, tomorrow you're going to be returning them. I was like, oh, no. So I had to ride my bike down to the Shaw Walker building, now Knoll Furniture, in downtown Muskegon. And they had the lift gate open where the workers were. And I was like, pulled up on my BMX. And there's just these blue collar alcoholic, truckers working there. And I'm like, hi, oh, I gotta tell you something. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I took these from you. And the guy was had a cigarette dangling from his mouth. He goes, so? I was like, okay, here you go. And I just rode off. But never did it again.
I mean, yeah, that's a good punishment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's much. I mean, you probably feared that and remember that much more than some random spanking you got.
Yeah, for sure. And
that's
I remember
my point.
Getting
That's
busted
so
for
much better.
stealing candy. My dad made me go return it.
Well, you were a little klepto.
I was a little Bart Simpson, dude. I was stealing all kinds of shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's great. I mean, don't love that your parents beat you. But these other techniques sound great.
Well, they weren't beating, punching. It was spanking time.
Sure.
It was you get a spanking from mom, and then it's
you
better wait till dad gets home. Bert is going to come home. You make you go pick a stick out. And sure enough, and then you'd put towels in your underwear so it wouldn't hurt. And then if they found you had the towels, and it'd be...
I mean,
bare
what
ass
year
spanking.
was this? You talk about this. This sounds like something from a
Little
million
House on
years
the
ago.
Prairie.
Yeah, it sounds like Little House.
The Waltons. It was. But it was the 80s and 90s.
Wow. But just a different part of the country, I guess. A different culture.
We grew up with Focus on the Family, Dr. James Dobson teachings of parenting and relationships, which were women have no rights, and the wife is subservient to the husband, and the children should be seen and not heard.
Okay.
And the earth is 5,000 years old, and vaccines are bad. And
I mean, this is a different topic, but did your family... I mean, I think it's just rhetorical because, I mean, obviously I've met your family. Did they have a reckoning one day where they came out of the church? Was that a gradual thing that you guys came out of that? Or was it all at once
They never
thing?
changed their views on those things, but they changed their religious views on women's adornment. My mom having very long hair and all the women wearing dresses and stuff like that and looking like they walked out of an Amish community.
So that changed.
But
the rest of it all stayed?
Yep.
The women being subservient to the men? Oh, got it.
No, that probably changed a little bit, but my mom never really held a job.
But I mean, your
for
family,
a little bit she did.
You were raised in a religious cult.
Yeah.
But your family left the religious cult at some point?
Yeah, when I was around 7.
Okay, so that's what I mean. So
10.
this was
But I was still homeschooled for another 7 years.
Was that a gradual leaving of that church, or was that kind of an all-at-once thing?
That was pretty sudden.
Okay.
And that was because my mom cut her hair. And
she cut her hair.
She cut her hair.
And they were like, that's it, you're out.
Well, my dad read this book called Women's Adornment, and they started to... I guess my mom, she said that she'd go through a half a bottle of shampoo every time she washed her hair because her hair was past her ankles.
What?
Yeah. And so I was talking to her recently because I was writing about it, about leaving the cult. And I was like, you know what happened? And she said, I just remember being in the shower and my hair just going all the way down, just floating in the bathtub while I was standing there and just going through a half a bottle of shampoo. And the hair so heavy when I do it up in a bun, and I was brushing it out, and I said, why would God give me this burden? And I just remember saying that, speaking it. And then I talked to Bertus about it, your dad, and then he was looking into it, and we started reading a book. And we asked the pastor, they didn't want to talk about it because that was their doctrine, from when Paul and Peter went to Corinth and Greece and Corinthians, and they told the women they had to be modest. But I went to Meyer, I got my hair cut. And when I showed up at church, they said, and they said, y'all can stay in the church, but you got to sit in the back of the church like you a guest. Ooh. And you can't teach Sunday school no more. So we left the church, and that's when the Amstuds came with, and the Ferrises came, and some of the other families. And we're the first people to leave the cult.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's pretty interesting, and all because of a haircut.
All because of a haircut, because of my mom.
Is that the name of the book, All Because of a Haircut?
I think it's called, Why Would God Give Me This Burden?
All right, we're back.
We're back for recommendations.
I have a recommendation this week. I assume you do too. You want to go first or you want to go second?
I'll go second.
Okay. So my recommendation this week, I'm going to look at my notes here in a second. It's kind of a two-part thing where I kind of came to the realization where I was like, man, I was in like a funk. This is probably like a couple weeks ago. Where I was just like, I don't know, when I'd go on do my errands, I was in like a bad mood, or like even when I was like going to like work in the morning, I work from my office here. I basically have an office job, and I'm in front of a computer all day long, and I listen to music while I'm working a lot. And I was like, oh, it's because like I'm super burned out on all my music right now. And this happens to me periodically. Like I consume a ton of music regularly, given just the nature of my job, where I, will be in front of a computer, not talking to people for long periods of time on a daily basis, doing computer work. And I listen to a ton of music, but I burn out on it so much. Like, also, I've got a ton of records in the house, but I was just like, I'm just worn out on all my stuff right now. And I think it was like putting me in a bad mood. Because
I didn't know you could get in a bad mood from being burnt out on music.
Neither did I. This was news to me. And I realized, wait a second, this has happened to me fairly regularly when I burn out on all my music. And I think
you're like, I wish there was just a yearly thing that came out called Now That's What I Call Jock Jams.
Yeah. Oh, remember Now That's What I Call Music? Those were great. They weren't great. They were fucking horrible, but it's very fun to make fun of.
They're pretty fun to listen to now.
I bet they are now.
We go back. It's a good vibration.
Yeah, I got to go back and listen to those. I'm sure there's playlists. You could just find like Spotify playlists, right, of those. But I definitely think, I used to play in bands, and I would consume a ton of music, and I would always get new music in my life from different musicians that I was playing with, or just friends. Like that was a big part of my life for many years, was getting exposed to new music, underground bands, like even popular bands, just all sorts of new music coming in all the time. And I think that helps with my mood quite a bit, is like new music that I'm really interested in, and is like, I'm exploring this new thing. And I'm like, oh, when I have new music, I'm like, oh, when I go run errands, like I'm like, oh, cool, I can listen to that new album. Like I haven't had a chance to listen to that too much yet. Or even when I'm going to work, I'll be like, oh shit, there's that band I wanted to check out. I haven't had a chance to listen to them yet. And so when I went to
Rolling Stones, everybody's been talking about.
When I went to Kansas City this past week, and I do this a lot too, but I kind of forget sometimes. Whenever I'm hanging out with friends I haven't seen in a while, I'll be like, what are you listening to? Right? Like getting new recommendations. That used to happen to me very organically when I was in the music scene. It would just people volunteer this information. But as you get older, and I'm not in the music scene as much anymore, at least like, kind of playing with bands, that doesn't happen as much. And so you kind of I find myself in like a rut, listening to the same bands I've been listening to. And a lot of the popular music now that's coming out doesn't really interest me. It's probably because I'm older.
It's got too much of the hip and the hop in it.
It does, Too
much of that jazz.
So it's like you have to I have to proactively search out new music, new bands. I need to be asking people. And when I do,
So I go to the mall.
I go to the mall.
And I find teenage girls. And I say, hey, kid, what are you listening to?
I go to Sam Goody and the Warehouse Records.
I get a copy of Spin.
No, so like I asked my friends when I was a kid, like, what are you listening to? And whenever I do that, I just say, they'll give you a band. They'll be like, I'm listening to this. And a lot of times it's bands you know. You're like, yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, I fucking know about Fugazi.
Yeah, like,
asshole.
thanks, dude. But sometimes people will be like, I was hanging out with some friends. One of them was like, oh, Blaze Foley. I'm like, who the fuck's Blaze Foley? Like, okay,
Dude,
I'll check
you don't
this
know,
out.
I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I didn't. But I mean, he's great. But it's besides the point. But what I do is I just say, great, what's your favorite album from them? And they'll tell me, and then I just add it to like my Spotify or my Apple Music right then. And then next time I'm like at work or running errands in the car, I'm like,
You
I'll
have a
check
new
this out.
music playlist you want to share?
No, I don't, but I should.
You should.
That would be good
put
for
in the
this.
link,
Yeah. What I mean,
I'll
so
listen to it because I'm stuck. I haven't listened to new stuff. And because when I get in the car, I know I'm hijacking your story.
Mm-hmm.
If the kids are in there, it's like, put on the K-pop Demon Hunters. Put on
the worst.
Then I'm just like, fuck, I got to drive and listen to this. And then to like ease my stress, I'm just like, I'll put on a Paul Simon PlayStation. Radio station, but it's the same. I'm listening to the same stuff.
Yeah, I
You
can
know
only
what I
listen to
mean?
me and Julio down by the schoolyard so many
It's
times.
a jam though. But yeah, it's like I'm
It is
going through
great.
this same older music rotation, but I didn't listen to this stuff growing up because the religious cult.
Sure.
You know, so I'm working backwards, checking out this Elvis Presley people have been talking about. But I know what you mean. Like, I haven't listened to really new shit. Like, I got stuck in like high school and college age. Like, that's where I tapped out on like the Postal Service and Jimmy
And that's
World.
what happens.
You know,
And there's been lots of
like
conversations.
Wilco's Chicago album is like that's where I stopped. You know.
And I think that's fine. I think that's pretty universal. Like I was going to say, that's for most people. You know, we've talked about it before with like SNL, where it's like, what's your favorite SNL? And it's always the one that like when you were in high school or something, right? Same thing with music. It's like, that's people's like touchstone in my experience for music is like, what year did you graduate high school? I'll tell you what bands you liked.
Yeah.
Right? It's like pretty straight ahead, right? But you wear out on this stuff. You burn out. And you're like, yeah, I can only listen to these same records. I still love them, but like I need new music. Or like for me, everyone's different. I get into a funk where I'm just like, I'm in kind of a bad mood and I don't even realize it. Where I'm like, it's because I don't want to listen to anything right now. Like all this music I'm like so burned on. So for me, the recommendation is like, make sure you're listening to music and ask your friends, when you're hanging out with people, like, what are you listening to? Like, be proactive about it because it makes a big difference in my life when I have new music that I'm excited about. And I mean, I can share some of the bands. That's why I was going to grab my notes here that I'm listening to right now. I'm always hesitant to share bands and music as recommendations, even though I am a musician. It seems funny because I feel like music is so personal and I can sit here and describe some band and be like, oh, they're like this, they're like that. But you're just going to listen to it and you're going to have your own response to it, right? Or you're going to like it.
Yeah,
not,
you
right?
got to emotionally connect with it.
So it's just like what emotionally connects for you may not be for you, right? But so my recommendation doesn't even need to be new bands, right? I love discovering a band that has a huge catalog. And I'm like, I never even fucking heard of these. I did that with Wilco a few years ago, remember?
Yeah.
It was like, I had heard of them, of course. But like 5 years ago, I'm like, okay, I'm going to check these guys out. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
And they have a catalog.
And they have a great catalog.
Yeah,
that's
because
one
I
of my
went
favorite
through
things to
the
do.
Wilco wave in Santa Barbara, and you did not. But like went and saw him in concert, and when I lived in Chicago, saw him a bunch. Saw Jeff Tweedy all by himself, you know. And I haven't kept up with Wilco since Ghost is Born, really.
And that's a great album. I was just listening to that.
But it's like, I don't know, but there's something where it's like they meant something to me at that time, I guess similar to high school, you know, and then like that chapter's over, so I'm stuck there. It's like, I think I may have said before, I think it was Amy Poehler was talking about like people, or maybe it was Amy Sedaris, people who go like, oh, New York, when I lived here, like New York was fucking awesome.
Sure.
We did all this and now it sucks. And it's like, no. New York wasn't great and now it's not. New York was great to you because you were 24 living there in the 80s.
Exactly.
And now you're 60 years old.
And it's,
You know?
everything's annoying.
Yeah.
And, yeah. That's
So, I
really
don't
funny.
know.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's no getting around any of that. That time in your life is very special, and you're never going to be able to recapture that. And that's okay. You'll always have those bands. But I think people should be constantly adding new music to their life because I think it's important. I think it's important to be excited
How do
about
I
music.
do it if, unlike you, I don't have friends? I don't have people to ask. I'm not allowed to be near children.
I mean, you could ask me. You have plenty of friends, actually.
Yeah.
And you know what? And what's fun is, I think it is, I'll ask people like, hey, like, what do you listen to? They'll tell me, you know, and then you'll
What's up with this trippy red? And what's a munch?
and then sometimes they give me an album and I'm like, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But it's like, it's still, sometimes you'll see influences for those bands. Like that is a great part about streaming
Yeah.
services is you'll be like, this band is like this band or that band. And you're like, I trust that shit a lot less than human recommendations, but it at least spurs something in you to explore, like, and search out new music.
It is interesting. Some of the new music I'll see come around is like, oh, shit's starting to sound like garage bands or singer-songwriters from the 90s. And that type of sound or shoegaze. And you're like, oh, this stuff, there's like these kids now who are, maybe they're on TikTok or Instagram and they're like releasing songs and they're like a high school or college band. And I'm like, holy shit, you sound just like a high school emo band from the Midwest when I was in high school.
It's the cliche, what's old is new again, right? Kind of thing,
Yeah.
where these things come back around. So, I mean, but like I said, I've come to terms with a lot of new music may not be for me, and that's okay. And then sometimes it is, but there are so many great bands out there that have huge catalogs. My Wilco example, right? That you can get into. And I just got into one called, and maybe you even know them, right? And so this is, I guess, part of my recommendation is a band called Future Islands. Do you know this band?
No.
Like from like North Carolina, started in like 06. They're kind of like a synth pop, post-punk, new wavy type band. They're great. They've got like fucking 10 records. They're awesome. They just came out with a record last year. And I'm like, this huge catalog that I'm exploring, right? So I could sit here and like recommend this band a bunch. But like, check them out. If it hits with you, great. If it doesn't, find a different band that
I can
does.
tell you they're not gonna. What's another one? Go again.
The other one that's interesting, this is the other band I just got into, which is called Magna Carta Cartel.
Okay.
I don't think this one would be up your alley.
I can tell you right now they're not.
Do you know who the band Ghost is?
I've heard of Ghost.
Okay, they're kind of like, if people listening to this know, it's like, if you know, you know. You
hate
would,
when people
I think
say
you would
that.
hate them, but you would think they're from hell. They dress up. They're big pageantry. They do these huge shows. They're like a big Swedish band, right? Like the singer looks like a demonic pope. And
Oh
the band
yeah.
members,
They had an
like,
article in the Times that was
Yeah.
very funny.
and they're like it's pageantry, right? It's this whole thing.
And it's
and-
like they're like meat puppet.
But like the music though is very different than that, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like big 80s influence, like big hooks, big guitar solos,
Yeah.
like fucking
It's like rock and roll.
yeah, it's like the Scorpions or something from the 80s
Yeah.
meets like metal with like these big hooks, but like demonic,
God, I forgot about the Scorpions.
right? And so this
Yeah,
band,
it's like when we were in Santa Barbara. What was when I keep saying when we were in Santa Barbara 20 years ago when we were
Brandon and
neighbors.
I both used to live in Santa Barbara many years ago.
What was the band that did I Believe in a Thing Called Love? I believe in a thing
The
called
Darkness.
The Darkness.
Yes.
The Darkness was kind of doing it like as a bit.
I think so, yeah. But this band is like much darker, much more like quote unquote metal. I think
Yeah.
people that are actually into metal like do not like Ghost being considered metal because they're like, no, they're not metal.
They
But,
haven't murdered their neighbor in Norway like
they're
we did.
posers or whatever. But I think Ghost is a lot of fun. I wouldn't recommend them. They're like a huge fucking international band. It'd be like, recommending Taylor Swift or something. It's
Or
ridiculous.
Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah. But this band, Magna Carta Cartel, is like a spin-off band from one of the guys that was in that band in Ghost. And it's like big 80s hooks, not quite as demonic. I don't think they have the pageantry, but they're just like,
I love demonic pageantry. It's exactly what the people in the cult warned me about.
This is what your parents warned you about growing up.
We should have stayed. My mom's hair would be longer than your street by now.
The tone and sound of this band, we'll call them MCC for short, is similar to Ghost in that way, but it's not like the full demonic pageantry in the same way. So anyway, two bands that like I've gotten into in the past few weeks when I'm just like, I'm in a such better mood when I'm exploring new music and I'm like excited to go run errands, or I'm like, oh fuck, or go for a walk. I'm like, I want to listen to that album. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. Right. And it's like, it changes my whole outlook where I'm like really excited about listening to something new. So that's my recommendation, kiddos. Listen to new music, even if it's old music.
What a piece of shit. You know what I did? I was driving and I was like, God, I haven't listened to Tom Waits in a while. And I put on Tom Waits and my kids were in the car and they hated it. And then I was like, well, too bad. I'm going to listen to one more song before I put on the Aladdin soundtrack again. Because Meg was having an Aladdin face. And I can't remember what Tom Waits one. But have you ever listened to Tom Waits?
I have.
He kind of has like 3 or 4 voices he does. He has this like, oh, when there's an old sailor boat.
That's the main voice I'm used to.
Yeah, right. But then he has the one where he's like, when you're walking with the devil and the down with the moon and the cork smoking rope with the monkey, whatever. I put that out and I was like, oh, this song's so fun. It was like, murder in a red barn. Maggie started fucking sobbing, dude. She was like, yeah, it's so scary. And I was like, calm down. He's really big in Europe. Last time I do that.
Playing music for the kids, I love it. It's one of my favorite things. I love playing music for them and exposing them to things. My 6-year-old, he will listen to all sorts of stuff. The 9-year-old, the reader, he could take it or leave it. I've asked him, like, what's your favorite band? He's like, I don't know. I can't even name one band.
Right.
Like, he could care less. My 6-year-old, like, totally likes different things, and it's great. I love it.
Did I tell you they went to some concert in the park and there was a Beatles cover band? Or not cover, tribute. Like, they wore the costumes and stuff. And so I had to work, and Maggie went with Jenna and, like, all the neighbor kids. And then the next day I was like, hey, how'd it go? She goes, yeah, we saw these guys, the Bug Guys. I go, the what? She goes, oh, man, Dad, you would have loved the Bug Guys. They're so great. They had a song, a happy birthday song, and they had a song about a submarine. And they all wore funny suits. And I was like, what they were called, the Bug Guys? She's like, I don't know. There was something Bugs. I go, the Beatles. She's like, that's it. I love the Beatles.
It's great.
And then she was like asking me, like, because I was playing other Beatles songs and going through the Beatles catalog, which obviously they've been around forever, but I'm just kind of started really listening to the Beatles. So I was excited. And then going through them with Maggie and her trying to like understand that the band that she saw was not the actual Beatles. Of being like, well, there was John, Paul, Ringo, and George, but and then she's like, why did that guy kill John Lennon? And I'm like, well, he said the voices.
Well, you went
wanted
straight
to meet
to the
Jodie
murders.
Foster.
Okay. Wow.
It just, I opened up a Pandora's box.
Definitely your daughter. Like, why are you focusing on this?
Okay, for my recommendation.
Hold on the Beatles though. Our 6-year-old the other day, like I was singing that. Do you remember that? I don't even know why it was in my head. That Barney song, like if I lived under the sea. Do you remember that song?
Is it a Barney song?
I think so. Because I looked it up. Like, anyway, our 6-year-old heard that. It popped up on something. And he was like, is that the same band that does that Octopus's Garden song? And I was like, no, that's the Beatles. I was like, I Lived Under the Sea, I think is from Barney. He's like, who's Barney? And I was like, oh yeah, you have no idea who Barney is.
Don't know.
I had to explain. But he was like, that should be the same band. Like, those songs are very similar. And I was like,
what?
okay.
They kind of are.
Yeah, like
They
visit
kinda
all
are.
the fish that I could be. All right, I get it. Octopus's
I mean, the
Garden.
Beatles flew all around genres. That's the thing.
They're so great.
The Rolling Stones, it's like basically like blues, and they have some
blues rock.
ballads.
It's great. Love
But
the Stones,
the
yeah.
Beatles, like, there's so many kinds of genres of music that they have in a single album.
Well, remember that book I recommended, on one of these a while ago? It's so good, but it
I
really
gotta
exposes
get
that.
back.
Like, man, that gave me a great roadmap to go through to revisit the Beatles, because we've got a ton of Beatles vinyl that we inherited from Catherine's parents, and it's fucking
Who are still alive.
They are, yes, but they got rid of all their vinyl. They gave it all to us, which is great. And it was so great using that book as like a roadmap to revisit. And man, does it really highlight the genres that they went through. It is, I mean, this is fucking old news. Obviously, everybody knows this, but man, it was crazy. Like, these guys did not give a shit. They were just like, oh no, we will do any style. We'll go all over the place. Yeah, he's just like, this sounds great. Let's do it.
Beatles podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, to your recommendation.
I guess my recommendation is a meal train. And I think that outside of church, it's not very common.
I don't know what this term is. I've never heard it before.
When somebody, has a death in the family, or they are giving birth or gave birth, it's not uncommon in a church to start a meal train, which would mean, and this happened when my dad died, and it wasn't even from the church, but when my dad died and we were stuck in Michigan doing the funeral, all those things, people brought meals for the family because they knew you were grieving, maybe forgetting to eat, and you didn't want to spend a bunch of money, or you didn't have the energy to make food. So there were just casseroles on casseroles and salads and, prepped food. And my love language is kind of cooking, and I'm been a little bluesy too for other reasons. But one of the neighbors came by, and I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but they just had their third kid, and Jenna was out there talking with them and met the baby. And so I've been duly elected to provide a meal tomorrow for this family, which I was a little grumpy about. Because I was like, well, I wanted it, and I'm like, shut up. Like, stop being so grumpy and lean into, like, you love to cook, and you've been on the receiving end of a meal train multiple times. When we had Maggie, for like at least a week, people brought food by. And somebody usually organizes it. Hey, I'm putting a meal train together for John. His mom just passed away. Can you mark on here what you're going to bring in what day? These are their dietary, whatever.
Do you think
sometimes you can
what percentage of the time do you think it's a mom that coordinates that versus a dad?
Well, it's usually a woman that does. Sure.
Yeah.
I've never coordinated it.
I was going to say, I can't imagine ever there being.
But look, what I'm saying though, even if you're not part of a meal train, what I'm trying to say is, if you know anybody who's just having a baby, or there's a death in their family, you don't have to do a whole meal train, but get them some kind of meal or a gift card. People remember that shit of like, oh my God, remember we had that baby, and John and Catherine gave us a $50 gift card to Target. We were able to get a box of diapers and do these things, or like they got us a gift card, whatever.
It was to DoorDash.
It was to DoorDash. Yeah. But you just think about your neighbors, and like tomorrow I'm making a cornbread chicken pot pie, which is very good and very easy to make.
Dude, that sounds great.
It's just, you do a chicken gravy or a cream of mushroom gravy base, and then it's like you can do whatever. If you want to get real fancy, you can roast your own chicken, or you can even do a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store that you pull off. You pull the chicken, you do it in a pan with garlic, onion, do the chicken gravy. You can do frozen vegetables or fresh, you season. And then it's basically that. But the only difference is you do like Jiffy. The best cornbread mix I've actually ever gotten is at Trader Joe's. And
which cornbread mix is that?
It's a Trader Joe's cornbread mix.
The Trader Joe's brand cornbread mix?
Yeah,
okay.
I've tried. I mean, we should pitch sponsorship from different cornbread manufacturers. But some of them, it's like you do oil, some you don't because it's pre-made.
Okay.
But you do the cornbread on top. You bake it for like 30, 40 minutes. You can top it with some paprika, cheese, herbs if you want. And you get that fluffy crust, dude. It's so white trash. It's so good, though.
I am telling you, Brandon, we are missing a huge market here. We have got to start like putting your recipes with some of these episodes, man. Because you are a great cook, and like some of your recipes are great. I
write them down,
man.
though. I don't write them down. I just kind of do them.
And not to belabor the point here, because I want to get back to the meal train. I think this is a great idea. Where do you land on the Costco chicken, the rotisserie chicken?
I've never had it.
That one they sell in the Costco, it's like $5
I never
for a whole chicken.
I never go to Costco.
You don't have a Costco membership?
I think Jenna does, but I never go there.
You know you're married, right?
Yeah, but she'll just go like quarterly to get like paper products.
We got to talk about Costco. We got to do a whole episode about Costco
You know what?
here.
Let's try to get a sponsorship from them. We'll do a
They've
special
got these
Costco.
rotisserie chickens. People line up for them, man.
We'll
They're
get
$5.
sponsored by them. We'll do a live Costco podcast.
You and I are going to go do a live podcast in Costco.
Is it really $5 for a rotisserie?
Yes.
That's a loss leader.
It
right
is.
there.
And
Big
people
time.
line up for it.
It's like their hot dog, $1.50 or whatever.
Dude, I mean, I think it's excellent. Catherine and I will get it sometimes. We're like, this is the fucking best, cheapest dinner.
I got to try it. Although I will say there was some mom who I ran into recently at a party, and I remembered her from like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, you came to the whatever Christmas thing. I remember you because you brought that frozen pizza from Costco that was the best frozen pizza I've ever had. And it was called Maud's or something.
Yeah,
and it was some frozen pizza that I was like, this is the best pizza I've had since I lived in Chicago.
Wow.
And she was like, yeah. She was at this Airbnb. These other people were meeting. We all had kids. She pulled it out of the trash. She's like, it's from Costco. I was like, it left that much of an impact on me that I remembered this woman.
I won't get you to go camping with me. I feel like this is a loss, but I am going to take you with me to Costco. We're going to do a Costco run through. I'm a big proponent.
Okay.
It's fucking the best, man.
Costco influencer.
All right, let's do it. Okay, back to the meal train.
Oh, no. That's it.
That's it. No, I mean, I do think this is a great idea. I mean, I have never been, maybe this says something about us. I have never been on the receiving end of a meal train. Sounds great. Or people just bring over food for you, right? When
you're
going
too
through
picky, so I didn't bring you anything when you had kids. Because you're like, I don't eat meat, and she doesn't eat this. Well, I only eat these kinds of things. I'm like, what are you, Jewish? You're like, no, actually.
There's like one thing we don't
picky.
eat. We just don't eat beef.
You don't eat shellfish either.
I mean, I don't really care for shellfish.
Your
but
wife doesn't eat pork.
It's not like I don't eat it.
Your wife doesn't eat pork.
She doesn't. That's true.
Okay. So
we don't eat beef, and she doesn't eat beef or pork.
Okay. You sound like those motherfuckers who are like, we don't have a TV. No, you don't? Yeah, we never watch TV. Oh, wow, that's crazy. But I do watch everything on my laptop. Okay.
I'm not like going around saying I'm vegan or something. It's just
well,
like,
I'm going around town talking shit
just
about
talking
you.
all sorts of shit about me.
You know, in my phone, I saved you as No Cow John Ahern.
And I mean,
and then you'd
know.
always be like, whenever we have dinner parties or something, I'm like, oh, I'll bring this thing. You're like, oh, well, we actually don't eat that. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck. And you're like, it's always the same thing. You should know this. So I wrote No Cow.
Yeah.
To remember.
And every time I go to your house, you're like, I've got braised
I'm
short
bringing
ribs.
oysters and this. And you're like, well, I don't eat shrimp and I don't. So then I added to it, No Cow, no mussels, because he wouldn't eat mussels either.
I don't care for them. It's not like
and
an
then I
ethical
changed
opinion.
it to No Cow, no mussels, and his wife doesn't eat pork, John Ahern.
Sure. It's important to you to get everybody's dietary restrictions just right.
I put everybody had changed their name.
You're my only friend.
So that I'm telling you, that's why I did not. Well, I'm your only friend probably who cooks, right?
That might be true.
That's why it's important to me to know these things.
That might be true.
And that's why you got no meal train from
Brandon,
me.
touche.
Scene. I feel like we should leave it.
Yeah, we got to cut it.
We got to cut it.
Wyatt, we got to cut it there.
We got to cut it.
Listen They're Fine is produced and edited by Wyatt Gray. Original music by John Ahern. John's Instagram is @JohnAhernMusic. And you can find my inappropriate parenting on Instagram @BubbaOgborn. You can also find our recommendations linked in the show notes. If you have feedback or topic suggestions, our show email is listenthey'refine@gmail.com. And our TikTok and Instagram handles are @listenthey'refine. If you made it this far without calling Child Protective Services on us, please leave us a 5-star review. It helps other questionable parents find us. Share the chaos, tell a friend, tell your therapist, tell anyone who needs to feel better about their own parenting choices. Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode.